the raids that are being carried out. Now, there is a claim that is being made by the Aam Aadmi Party. The Aam Aadmi Party has gone on to say that there are some raids being carried out at their leader Amanatullah Khan's residence. Amanatullah and the Aam Aadmi Party, since the very start, has gone ahead and released some videos, and they've gone ahead and said that ED will arrest their MP soon. Let's go across to Priyank. He has some latest information. Priyank, what's the latest information when it comes to these claims made by the Aam Aadmi Party?
Party MLA Amanatullah Khan. The ED team officials are leaving here. We can also see Amanat in frame, who's talking to his staff members. Amanatullah Khan being taken away by the Enforcement Directorate, and Amanat is probably being put under arrest by the Enforcement Directorate. That's why he is being taken. There's a massive movement here where Amanatullah Khan is being taken by the Enforcement Directorate after a high-level drama which happened at this location. You can see in the visuals, Amanatullah Khan is being taken. Amanat has been taken by the Enforcement Directorate inside this massive commotion which happened here, and after the searches which were carried out at this location, Enforcement Directorate officials are leaving from this location. The family members have also stated that there are a few printers also and a few gadgets which has been seized by the Enforcement Directorate. Let's go to the house where the family members have been there. Anyone, आप कुछ बात करेंगे? आप लोग पहले
नहीं बात नहीं करनी किसी से
उनकी बात करना चाहेंगे? The family members are certainly not willing to talk as of now, but Enforcement Directorate team leaving from this location after carrying out searches at the residence of Aam Aadmi Party MLA Amanatullah Khan, who has been in the center of controversy at quite a lot of time. And Amanat has been taken by the Enforcement Directorate. The video Ashwini Priyank Party reporting for Delhi for the Times Network.
So Priyank, they're getting us the latest information. As you saw on your screens, ED officials have picked up Amanatullah Khan, and there was a massive commotion outside his residence when he was being taken by ED officials. His family members have told reporters that some printers have been taken. Amanatullah Khan, while in fact walking into the car, had spoken out. Let's go across to Bhavtosh. Bhavtosh, what's the latest when it comes to the ED action? Why has the ED now picked up? Has he been detained? What is the latest information when it comes to the ED's investigation?
Well, no official word from the Enforcement Directorate, but he is under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate right from April, when last April, when ED had searched his premises. Remember, there are two predicate offences as far as this case is concerned. First pertains to the CBI ACB FIR that was filed long time back, when they had said that there are alleged irregularities pertaining to a tenure when he was the chairperson of Delhi Waqf Board, and CBI had in fact filed a charge sheet in that case. The other one is the ACB searches that were carried out in September 2022, which in fact led to a scuffle between ACB officials and also the aides of Amanatullah Khan. In this FIR, Amanatullah Khan was arrested and then he quickly got bail. There was a diary that was seized from his residence, though any diary has virtually zero evidentiary value, but ACB gave their evidence to Enforcement Directorate. After ED in fact took over the investigation, they carried out raids and searches and issued summons to him, and ED in the prosecution complaint that was filed against arrested people who are said to be close to Amanatullah Khan, they claim that during his tenure as a chairperson of Delhi Waqf Board, there are two alleged offences he committed. One was the illegal hiring of people in Delhi Waqf Board, and the second was renting out properties of Delhi Waqf Board and then subsequently using the proceeds of crime to purchase properties in and around Okhla. They claim that the total proceeds of crime is around 32 crore rupees. Broadly, these are the two offences which ED had levelled in the prosecution complaint that was filed in December 2023. We had, in fact, access to that prosecution complaint. It's a long prosecution complaint. In fact, they had levelled several charges against him. They had said that the market value and the circle rate of the property was in fact brought down. They had further said that these properties were purchased by Benamidas or people who had no link, at least it was shown that they had no link to Amanatullah Khan. And then during the investigation, they found that they apparently or reputedly have links with Amanatullah Khan. Okay. One has to wait and see whether he is apprehended in this case or whether he is brought here to the Enforcement Directorate headquarters here in New Delhi. This is the headquarters of Enforcement Directorate.
What can be confirmed for now is that the Enforcement Directorate has picked up Amanatullah Khan, and there was high drama outside his residence, as we saw in the pictures. Let's also go across to Priyank because he was in the thick of all the action when this happened. Priyank, take us through the latest details. What is the official word coming in from the ED? Amanatullah Khan has been picked up. What is the status of this entire investigation that's currently going on?
Sakshi, it's quite clear that Amanatullah Khan will be arrested by the Enforcement Directorate because looking at the way he was summoned and then he had for some time till 22nd of this month, citing that we will stick to the visuals because these are the AD officials leaving from the residence of Aam Aadmi Party's MLA. The vehicle which was ferrying Amanatullah Khan has already left along with the Delhi Police Squad, and these are the CRPF officials below. Behind that is the vehicle of Aam Aadmi Party's MLA, which is also going along with the CRPF team. The fact of the matter is that he was, desired to be questioned by the ED. Then he cited some reason of not good health of his mother-in-law, but there are other members in the family who can also take care of her. But this reason was cited by Amanatullah Khan, which was certainly not taken on record by the Enforcement Directorate. That's why the ED officials reached at the residence of Amanatullah Khan early in the morning. Yes. If you look at the man in the diary which Bhavtosh was talking about, the diary mentions the illegal transaction which was first spotted by the ACB, and that document was handed over to the Enforcement Directorate. Okay. Since Amanat was leaving, he had already told to the reporters since we were there that I'm being arrested and this is a conspiracy by the Enforcement Directorate. Yeah. But during the later course of the day, we might get an official confirmation from the Enforcement Directorate. But so far, what it appears, looking at the manner in which things have unfolded, it's highly likely that he will be placed under arrest. Then he'll be questioned.
So nothing official yet from the Enforcement Directorate, but yes, he's been picked up from his residence and he'll be taken to the ED office for questioning. Priyank, also take us through what happened through the morning, because the claims came in from the Aam Aadmi Party. They said that the ED team has reached his residence. Now he's going to be arrested, and then we saw the kind of videos that they were putting out. But you were there, you were tracking the ED's course of action. Take us through what happened through the day since the time the ED reached the Aam Aadmi Party leader's residence.
Certainly. As you can see, the situation of this area, Sagrika, this is Jamia's Okhla head area, which is known as Jogabai. This is also known as Batla House, and Amanatullah Khan stays right behind these apartments. Early in the morning, the Enforcement Directorate team reached here because you can imagine that post 10 o'clock, it's highly difficult for any agency to come and carry out raid. Looking at the situation which can be troublesome for them. We have seen in the past that a few of the teams have already been attacked when they had approached the residence of Aam Aadmi Party's MLA, and there were heckling which had happened. That's why the Enforcement Directorate team reached here early in the morning, approximately around 6 to 6:15. And the moment they reached, at around 6:30, Amanatullah Khan tweeted that I'm at my house and the Enforcement Directorate has reached here. That was a signaling and messaging to the top leadership that something important has happened. Following to which, Sanjay Singh was quick to react and he said that it's a conspiracy and Amanat has been cooperating with the investigation. But looking at the visual, it was quite clear that he had locked the gate from inside and he was certainly not cooperating with the investigation. He was citing the health of his mother-in-law for not joining the investigation. But fortunately, the Delhi police team reached and then he was convinced. Then again, Amanatullah Khan went inside the room where his mother-in-law was sleeping, who had been discharged, according to them, from the hospital. And he was not cooperating with the investigation. Since he has not been cooperating, which is also visually quite clearly seen, there is no option for any law enforcing agency or any agency which is probing this particular case to take custody of the accused person and then follow up with the investigation, because there have been arrests in the case. One person is already absconding who knew about all the wrongdoings which has happened in the name of Waqf Board. That's why it was very important for questioning of Amanatullah Khan, since he has been taken to the Enforcement Directorate office. And again, if he managed to not cooperate with the investigating officers, then certainly it's a prerogative of the investigating team to go ahead with the arrest and then follow up with further course of investigation, which is, which can be seen in this particular case.
Okay, Priyank, stay with us because we're also being joined by Bhavtosh for more on this. What's the way forward now as far as this case is concerned, following, of course, what's happened with Amanatullah Khan, Bhavtosh? Bhavtosh, if you can hear me. Yeah, Bhavtosh, if you can hear me, Amanatullah Khan, of course, a big development coming in with respect to the ED investigations into his role in this particular matter. What's the way forward as far as the investigations go, and the latest development about his arrest?
Siddharth, he has been placed under arrest, and what we can tell our viewers is that Amanatullah Khan has been arrested. He will be brought here in New Delhi at ED headquarters. You can see that security has been beefed up. Most of police officers who are in fact SHOs of New Delhi, they have been brought here. He was questioned for nearly 3 to 4 hours at his residence, after which ED officials have brought him, will be bringing him at ED headquarters. They searched his premises under various sections of PMLA, and then are bringing him here at the ED headquarters. Now, ED officials have said that they have been probing him for alleged irregularities that they have found during his tenure as the chairperson of Delhi Waqf Board. It is a period when they claim that he allegedly was involved in 2 offences. One was the employment of individuals in the Delhi Waqf Board, and for which the guidelines were not followed. And the second offence for which he has been found guilty, or at least his involvement has been found, was selling or at least renting out properties of Delhi Waqf Board. Now, in this offence, what had happened, that the proceeds of crime was subsequently used to purchase properties in Southeast Delhi, particularly in Okhla. What was done was that the property rates were in fact lowered, or circle rate was lowered, so that Benamdar or people linked to him can purchase these properties. ED had found that the proceeds of crime is around 32 crore rupees or little over that. Now, ED had in fact gone through the diary that was seized by ACB. This diary was seized in 2022, and then ED started investigation. ACB does not have wherewithal to carry out such an investigation. Dramatic visuals from early in the morning, from 6:30 in the morning, when ED official landed at his residence and then in fact started the questioning. He also put out a video claiming that that these arrests and searches are illegal. One has to wait and see what will be the arguments that will be given by ED. Remember, this case is as controversial as the excise scam, because ED AAP has been saying that their MLAs, their leaders are being hounded by ED at the behest of BJP. So one has to wait and see what would be the argument of ED's counsel when Amanatullah Khan will be produced in the court tomorrow.
Of course, Bhavtosh, we'll be coming back to you, but stay with us. Let me go across once again to Priyank. Priyank, dramatic scenes, of course, following Amanatullah Khan's arrest. Now, he had been denied anticipatory bail in this particular matter by the court on the 15th of April. Subsequently, he was again questioned by the Enforcement Directorate on the 18th of April, subjected to about 13 hours hours of questioning back then, and now, of course, the ED's moved to arrest him. So the ED will always defend itself by claiming that they followed due procedure in this matter, provided enough opportunities to Amanatullah Khan to present his side of the story, and only after all those efforts have failed have they moved to arrest him.
Yes, Siddharth, because if you look at the conduct of Amanatullah Khan in several agencies, like you talk about Delhi Police, UP Police, Enforcement Directorate, his basic nature is to evade questioning. And the drama which unfolded, which Bhavtosh was also talking about, was a result of that. If Enforcement Directorate officials have reached to your location, they want to probe, and if you want to actually cooperate with the investigation, you should have actually done that and not holded them, outside your residence for the good 2 hours and kept on shouting at them that my mother-in-law is unwell, and creating yourself a scene inside the house. In these kind of scenarios, generally what people do, they go outside the house so that the family members are not disturbed. But Amanat preferred to disturb the family members and not cooperate with the investigation, and then he went and sat with the mother-in-law. While talking about the nitty-gritties of this case, since the ACB started probing this particular case, there were multiple raids which were carried out. Our viewers will be amazed to know that there were illegal pistols also recovered from people who were closely associated with Amanatullah Khan. How these pistols came, that matter was handed over to the Delhi Police, and the Delhi Police finally managed to nab a gun-running racket which was being operated, and that pistol was provided. During the course of an investigation, one person, Lallan, who's also said to be causer, who's yet to be questioned by any agency, from his residence there were, books and diaries which were found, which did not only had mention of the account inside India, but also funding which came out at 32 lakh and 20 lakh rupees, which came from Dubai. Lallan was last traced near Telangana, and since then he is not under the radar. So Amanatullah Khan's role was very much obvious, because there are other people who have been arrested in the case. If other individuals can be, those lower rank officers of this Waqf Board can be arrested by the agencies, then certainly the onus also lies on the person who is sitting on the top of the ladder. Who was he? Sure. He was Amanatullah Khan. So when ED officials reached to his residence, he was very much clear that sooner or later he'll be arrested. That's why this political drama, the mileage-taking strategy of Aam Aadmi Party was quite clearly seen, and our viewers also understood it at the very moment that this is a strategy which they have seen in the past as well. Right now what is happening, Amanatullah Khan is being taken, is being ferried by the Enforcement Directorate officers from his residence directly to the Enforcement Directorate headquarters. From there will be formality which will be completed, where he will be placed under arrest, and what we are expecting by later in the day, by approximately around 5 to 6 p.m, he will be taken to the concerned court, which is Rausavani Court, and from where ED will try to seek the police remand of Amanat. What is the exact need of taking police remand? That can only be known, Siddharth, frankly speaking, when the remand application copy will be moved before the court.
Absolutely. Priyank, stay with us. Let me once again go to Bhavtosh, of course, who's outside the ED office as we speak. Bhavtosh, when speaking about the history of this case, now Amanatullah Khan was the chairman of the Delhi Waqf Board between the years 2018 and 2022. And the very first instance of any arrest in this particular matter pertaining to his alleged role was not by the Enforcement Directorate, it was the Anti-Corruption Bureau, which had taken cognizance of this particular matter and alleged irregularities in the Delhi Waqf Board way back in 2022 April.
Yes, Siddharth, in fact, that too was very dramatic. Remember when ACB had gone to his residence, they were in fact, ACB claimed that they were assaulted. They recovered a weapon from one of his aides' place, a diary which subsequently led to ED's investigation. And then ACB handed over all the documents to Enforcement Directorate. He was arrested but quickly got bail in that case, because ACB also said that they don't have resources to probe this case. And then what happened next was that ED took over the investigation. Last April, they for the first time carried out raids and searches, and then these summons were issued repeatedly to Amanatullah Khan. Amanatullah Khan was called a number of times by ED. ED even filed a complaint with the Rouse Avenue Court claiming that he was not joining investigation.
Right, let me just interrupt you for a moment. We have the BJP's national spokesperson Shazad Patel joining us. Shazad, your response to these dramatic developments in the national capital. Amanatullah Khan, we can formally now say, has been arrested.
Look, whatever the law prescribes, the agencies will do. And I think the law will take its own course. Those who came on the plank of fighting corruption today should welcome such movements when there is an attempt to remove corruption. But unfortunately, they scream that Bhrashtachar is my Jansid Adhikar, and when there is Karwai, they start screaming Atyachar, Atyachar. I think that is a very strong U-turn that they have done. Once upon a time, they used to ask for action on corruption even before FIR. And today, when court proceedings take place and there is a strong case against people and action is taken, they start screaming that why is action being taken. So I think from Anna to Lalu, from Swaraj to Sharaf, this is the Siyasi U-turn of Aam Aadmi Party.
Shahzad, we'll wait and see as to how the proceedings now unfold in this particular matter. He'll also be produced before a court tomorrow when the ED will be pressing for his custody. But recent events, as far as the Enforcement Directorate are concerned, at least what's been happening in court, be it the bail that was given to K. Kavita, or for that matter, Mr. Manish Sisodia, before that, the opposition has been claiming that that's vindication, the bail that's been given over their allegation that the ED has been weaponized by the centre. What's your response to that?
If the courts are anyways giving relief, then in this case, they can again approach a court. So they can't have a contradictory stand. On one hand, they say that the ED is being weaponized. On the other hand, they're saying that the courts are giving us relief. So the courts are giving relief. In this case also, if you've done nothing wrong, they will get relief. But that doesn't mean that legitimate action justified by evidence on material on record should not be taken. And this is the same Aam Aadmi Party that wanted ED action on the Chhattisgarh CM Bhupesh Baghel once upon a time. This is the same Aam Aadmi Party that used the ED's actions to arrest Mr. Khera in Punjab. So aap karo to chamatkar, dusre kare to gunegar. This kind of standard can only be taken by Aam Aadmi Party.
All right. Thanks a lot for that. Shazad Patel, of course, responding to the arrest of Amanatullah Khan in the national capital over alleged irregularities in the functioning of the Delhi Waqf Board when he was chairman between the years 2018 and 2022. Bhavtosh and Priyank are on the ground covering the story for us. Priyank, of course, was outside the residence of Amanatullah Khan at the time of his formal arrest by the Enforcement Directorate. Priyank, coming back to you, tell us about what's happening there, because very soon, of course, he'll reach the ED headquarters and he'll be summoned. In fact, he'll be produced before a magistrate tomorrow. The ED presumably will be making a case for his custody. It'll be very interesting to see what kind of allegations are produced by the agency when it does that.
That is going to be very important because what is the exact reason because of which the Enforcement Directorate will be questioning him. So far, the basic pointers which can emerge in the remand copy could be evasive from replying any kind of answer, because we are talking about a probe where the ACB has already filed a charge sheet. This particular investigation has been taken by the Enforcement Directorate, so there have been evidence which were already present before the court. ED started probing this particular case. So the transaction of money and the manner and the procedure which could have been opted by the Waqf Board and the role of the Waqf Board chairperson Amanatullah Khan at that particular time period is something on which the Enforcement Directorate will try to seek the police remand. As we know, the case pertains to irregularity which happened in between the time period of 2015 to 2016, and after almost 7 years of time period, the ACB finally took over the investigation in the year 2022 because there were repeated complaints which is given to the Delhi ACB, which comes under the Delhi government, although the Aam Aadmi Party says that it also works in the behest of the centre. So it is a very well-known fact that there are individuals who have been arrested. It is a very well-known fact that the case was already probed by the ACB and the charge sheet had already been filed. So they have been the evasive nature of this particular individual, who also happens to be the Aam Aadmi Party MLA, is certainly something on which Enforcement Directorate will try to seek his police remand. They will also try to know that whether he was in touch with Kausar or alias Ladan who was the person who was responsible for managing the fund, the illegal fund allegedly which was acquired during the course of time period, not only from India but also from abroad, because the diary noting clearly states that the fund was given in the form of cash. It was given in the form of online transaction which came up from Dubai itself. So the foreign funding is also something on which the Enforcement Directorate will have to touch upon. Let's see how ED will further pursue this case, but the manner in which a very slowly going investigation has taken up its pace, I beg your pardon, and the arrest of Aam Aadmi Party's MLA Amanatullah Khan has been done by the Enforcement Directorate clearly implies that there could be something very substantial which the ED has finally managed to get. That's why they have put in their hand on Amanat, knowing the fact that the Aam Aadmi Party will jump over it. Amanatullah Khan already done some drama over it, and the drama will certainly continue before the court also. So the ED must have had something very substantial. This is what we can sense, because of which this action has been taken by them.
All right, Priyank, stay with us. Bhavtosh, coming to you once again. If you could just brief our viewers, Bhavtosh, over the specifics of the predicate scheduled offence that Amanatullah Khan has now been arrested by the ED for. As per procedure, of course, the ED can step in once a predicate or a scheduled offence has been registered. So tell us about what the original offence is for which action has now been taken.
Siddharth, as far as this case is concerned, ED registered a money laundering case only last year, and it was in April of 2023 that they started the investigation. There are two cases, there are two predicate offences. One is the CBI's FIR and subsequently the charge sheet that they had filed. This pertained to the period when he was the chairperson of Delhi Waqf Board, and the case in fact revolves around the two alleged offences that he committed. One was the appointments or the jobs that he gave in the Delhi Waqf Board, and what CBI had said was these were illegal appointments. And the second, which is the most serious charges, they said that properties of Delhi Waqf Board were illegally rented out. Now this is the charge, and one has to in fact see whether these charges can in fact stand in the court of law. Being a secondary agency, ED then subsequently started the investigation. ACB also started the investigation. ACB, in fact, seized a diary in which there are some hawala entries, and these diaries were given to the Enforcement Directorate. ED claimed that the proceeds of crime from both the FIRs were used to purchase properties in and around Okhla. They claim that the total proceeds of crime as far as Amanatullah Khan is concerned is somewhere around 32 crores to 40 crore rupees. Amanatullah Khan has denied. He claims that just because he is a very loyal ally of Aam Aadmi Party, he was being pressurized to leave the party. That's why ED was in fact putting pressure on him. One more important information that we have gathered from ED is that he in fact ignored 10 summons. Okay. That's what they have said, that he ignored 10 summons, very similar to what ED had said in case of Arvind Kejriwal. Whether this also will stand in the court of law, whether the courts will find loopholes in ED's case, one has to wait and see. But dramatic turns of event from early in the morning when ED officials landed up at the doorsteps of Amanatullah Khan.
Just a follow-up question to that, Bhavtosh. You've told us, according to sources, that he refused or ignored summons on 10 occasions before this, but he was in fact questioned by the Enforcement Directorate for a period of almost 13 to 14 hours on the 18th of April earlier this year. So was that a case of delayed cooperation on the part of Amanatullah Khan in this case, having ignored several summons previous to that?
Well, there is a complaint that ED had filed against him. That complaint was with respect to the summons that he had ignored. And in that case, he managed to get a bail after he deposited around 50,000 rupees. They now claim that after that he was ignoring summons, and they had no option but to go at his, in fact, reach his residence, then virtually one can say drag him out of his residence. In fact, his wife said that her mother is ill, that she had undergone an operation. But what ED had said is that he was ignoring summons, that they had an evidence to prove that the proceeds of crime link up to him or allegedly link up to him. Aam Aadmi Party has said that several of their leaders have been arrested, whether it's Manish Sisodia, Sanjay Singh, Satyendra Jain. They have all been arrested or questioned by the agency for past 2 years. because Arvind Kejriwal's bail matter will be coming up this week. Correct. So one can expect Aam Aadmi Party to in fact come out in support of Amanatullah Khan, because he is a very strong leader, at least in Okhla region. He's one of very old ally of Arvind Kejriwal, though he has been in news for the fact that he has in fact taken on Delhi police on several occasions. But what ED has said is that they have carried out investigation after going through the case files of CBI as well as that of anti-corruption branch. But all these facts will in fact be presented before the concerned court when ED will be seeking custody of Amanatullah Khan either today or tomorrow.
Right. Let me go across to Priyank as well. Priyank, let's also talk about the political backdrop to all of this as far as the ED is concerned, because when it came to Hemant Soren and the allegations against him, he managed to secure bail on the part of the Jharkhand High Court. Subsequently, of course, K. Kavita as well as Manish Sisodia have managed to secure bail from the top court in the Liquorgate matter. Arvind Kejriwal's hearing is due very soon. The opposition has been claiming that they've been vindicated because a lot of their senior leaders have managed to secure bail. They've claimed that the ED has been misused by the centre. This particular development now, the arrest of Amanatullah Khan, will only intensify that debate.
Yes, but this is a case which relates to minorities, Siddharth. You have to understand it politically. The Aam Aadmi Party will be talking about the vindictive nature of the centre and the action which is being taken by the Enforcement Directorate. But on ground, if you see, since this is a case related to Waqf Board property, this is a case related to ill-gotten money which was acquired by Aam Aadmi Party's MLA. So sympathy value from the voters will be certainly something which can be tried and tested during the course of election. But so far, the Aam Aadmi Party was very much quick, and the person who is out on bail himself, Sanjay Singh, was the first one to react on this particular issue of Amanatullah Khan. See, the conduct of Amanatullah Khan is certainly not which is on the on the right side. Since the time of beginning, he was alleged that he had stabbed the chief secretary inside the Delhi chief minister's residence. He was the one who was also booked by the Noida police when his son had assaulted the staff of the petrol station in Noida. Then he vanished and finally secured bail from the Allahabad High Court. Then he appeared before the media, and for the good 1.5 months, Amanatullah Khan was not visible. When ACB started probing this case at this location where Amanatullah Khan has been picked up by the Enforcement Directorate, he was not seen for more than 2 to 3 months. So filing of the FIR, filing of the case by multiple agencies, and Amanatullah Khan vanishing from his house is something which agencies and all the local police and the LIU have been quite clearly aware about it, and this is what we have seen in the past also. What Bhavtosh has also pointed out is the 10 summons which he had missed. So the Enforcement Directorate finally got to know that Amanat is there at his residence. He had come to meet his mother-in-law, and probably that was the reason because of which, after getting a tip-off that he's finally there at his residence, he's not somewhere else, because the Aam Aadmi Party kept on saying that Amanat is not absconding, he's a law-abiding citizen, he has always cooperated with the investigation, which was not seen when the Enforcement Directorate officers reached at this his doorstep. So it's going to be very important that whether the Aam Aadmi Party will be able to justify this stand. The political war game has already begun. We have seen 6 reactions coming out from the Bharatiya Janata Party and multiple press conferences being done by the Aam Aadmi Party. But that has been a normal routine for the people of the national capital. The big point is that whether the lower court, the concerned ED court, will be taking the point of the remand by the Enforcement Directorate, and the court will be finally allowing the police remand of Amanatullah Khan to the ED. Because so far, what we have sensed, what we have seen in the visuals also, that he is not cooperating with the investigation. And an investigation which was initially started by the ACB, multiple arrests were made. People close to Amanatullah Khan was arrested, but Amanat, being Amanat, has been totally not cooperating.
Absolutely. Big development today. Amanatullah Khan has been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. Many thanks, Priyank, as well as Bhavtosh, for bringing our viewers up to speed with the facts of the case as well as his recent arrest. We'll take a short break. We'll come back with more on the other side.